mill indicated. Vanna had shared with Daisy that Margaret had run away to New York City when she was 15. An actress was all she'd ever wanted to be. To escape the life and faith restrictions she didn't want? Emerging from the kitchen, Daisy's kitchen manager, Tessa Miller, came over to where she was standing. Tessa was a colorful addition to the tea garden, with her flowing orange and green smock, and her braided caramel-toned hair interspersed with orange ribbons. "Do you have the menu worked out yet for the tea at Margaret Vaughan's house? If I have time today, I thought I'd run through the food and make sure everything is tip-top. The apple gingerbread recipe has turned out delicious every time I've baked it. Do you want me to serve it in ramekins, or do you want to serve slices on dessert plates?" "Which do you think would look better with the clotted cream?" Daisy asked. "I think the slices would look best," Tessa answered. "The gingerbread cuts well, and our tea guests can see that spicy goodness and apples along the outside edge of the slice." Iris nodded. "I think Tessa's right. Not only that, but we won't have as much difficulty transporting the cake pans. Ramekins can slide all over the place. Besides that, you'd have to make sure when you dump the gingerbread out of the ramekins that it's a perfect shape. Slices make sense." "Slices it is," Daisy said with a smile, then motioned Tessa to her office. "I have the menu on my desk. I was going to have Jazzy print off enough for Margaret's guests when she comes in after school." Jazzy, Daisy's 16-year-old daughter, earned money by helping at the tea garden after school and on weekends. Her voice gentle, Tessa leaned close to Daisy to say, "I'll bet Jazzy is looking forward to spending a weekend with Portia and her family." Tessa's words caused a twinge in Daisy's heart. Adopted, Jazzy had gone on a search for her birth mother a year ago and found her. Since then, there had been emotional ups and downs for all of them. Portia Smith-Harding hadn't known if she wanted to disrupt her life by telling her husband she'd put a baby up for adoption before she'd met him. She'd finally revealed her secret, which had caused marital issues. But now Portia and her husband seemed to be on stable ground, and Jazzy was going to spend a weekend with the family. All were hoping Jazzy and Colton, Portia's husband, could connect. Daisy didn't want her daughter getting hurt. Responding to Tessa's comment, Daisy said, "Jazzy's looking forward to it, but she's nervous too. She won't admit it, but I think she's afraid she'll do or say something wrong. She doesn't want to cause any more problems for the couple." "Jazzy would be a wonderful addition to any family," Tessa said. "I tell her the same thing," Daisy agreed with a wide grin. When Daisy had lost her husband to pancreatic cancer 4 years ago, she'd taken a year to try to balance her emotions and her life. Finally, she decided moving back to Willow Creek from Florida with her 2 daughters would be the best decision for all of them. Violet, who was 3 years older than Jazzy, had been more vocal about her feelings. Jazzy had kept a lot of hers inside. Iris peeked around the corner of Daisy's office. "Vanna's here, and she's upset. I think you should talk to her." Daisy checked her watch. 9:30. Vanna's hours at the church were flexible. Daisy bet that more than a scone and a cup of tea had brought the church secretary into the tea garden this morning. Daisy hurried from her office to the main tea room, which had been painted a soft, welcoming green when she and her Aunt Iris had renovated the Victorian. Her customers seemed comfortable with the glass-topped tables and mismatched antique oak hand-carved chairs. At the beginning of November, before the Thanksgiving season, a rustic bud vase with dried herbs, lavender, and a white mum decorated each table. As Vanna moved forward to meet Daisy, Daisy could see that her friend was upset. Her hair was steel gray and a no-nonsense short cut. She was wearing a chocolate-colored pantsuit with no coat. She'd probably driven from church or from home. It was too chilly a day to be running around without outerwear. Vanna's sturdy tan tie shoes clicked on the floor as she approached Daisy. Her hazel eyes brimmed with something akin to frustration? Disappointment? There was no point in guessing. Daisy motioned her into the adjoining spillover tea room, which was painted the palest yellow.